Definitely need to get over though. You're messing up here, buddy. Driving a little too much like a Californian. This is your chance. Take the lane change. Do it. Do it. What are you doing? Come on. Oh, why? It's one of the only complaints that I have with the self-driving now.
Yeah, doesn't know when to change.
Well, it does, but it's not executing and actually doing it. It had the cars highlighted, it was showing it, blinker on, plenty of space. I'd actually love your opinion if you don't mind. I'm trying to get people's ideas or mentalities around if you're in this vehicle, you know, at some point in the future where, you know, there's no driver, it's a self-driving taxi. Yeah. How would you feel about it missing its chance and rerouting, you know, and trying to fix the course versus, you know, not missing the turn, I should say. And fully honest opinions, you know, you won't hurt my feelings.
I mean, I think it'd suck to reroute, but like I think it's depending where I'm going to. Like,
that's a fair point. Yeah, like
if I'm, like most of the time I'm not in a rush. Like I try to order them ahead of time, so like I know. So like I'd be kind of fine with it. But like yeah, if I think there's somewhere I need to go, I would love for somebody like more in control of the.
Yeah, I guess like you got to be somewhere by a certain time versus like you're just gonna go see friends or something.
Exactly.
I gotcha. Yeah. Oh, that makes a lot of sense because one of my critiques in that fashion is that it needs to be reliable. Yeah. It needs to be able to. I mean, and maybe a one-off, like if you take the system somewhere 5 times and one of those 5 times it has to reroute because of some other weird scenario. But if 4 of those 5 times, you're probably not coming back to the service.
No.
So I appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had a conversation with a viewer on my channel that I was being overbearing, you know, that people won't really care. I was like, yeah, you don't seem to know people very well then. Yeah. But I wanted to run the experiment because maybe he's right.
No,
but
like,
you know.
I think it's better to have people. Like eventually I could see it going to like fully automatic, but like I don't know. I don't think we're ready for it yet. Plus,
oh, definitely not yet.
It'd be so. Like I'm nowhere near a person that would have to worry about this, but like it'd be so easy to take somebody out. Like you just get a hacker that can just freaking take control of your car and boom. You go too fast.
That's actually something you won't have to really worry about. Really? Tesla constantly allows white hat hackers to participate in trying to break the system to continue to evolve it.
Really?
Yeah. And one thing that's kind of cool, and I'm about 95% certain of this, is that even if somebody was able to, first off, they'd have to get in my car and break in to, you know, maybe plant a program or something, but then it's isolated to my car.
Okay.
So you wouldn't have a scenario kind of like a Black Mirror freak out where you just say like all Teslas hit a wall. Yeah. You know, it wouldn't be something like that.
No, yeah, I think it would be more individual,
but yeah, no, it is a valid concern though. You wouldn't want to be as naive to think like no one's ever going to hack you. That's crazy. Yeah. Like no, you know, people will try.
Yeah.
But if there is a team of engineers and software experts that could avoid it, it'd be Tesla or SpaceX.
Yeah, exactly.
I would trust that. But yeah, I've heard that quite a bit, and it's definitely an important. Cybersecurity is always going to be important because the better cybersecurity gets, the better hackers get.
Yeah.
It's like a weird sort of evolution that happens.
There's always going to be somebody learning just as much to do. Like sometimes it's just having fun, and like that's their fun. It's just breaking into shit.
And there's some brilliant hackers. Oh. I mean, there's actually a well-known hacker in the Tesla community who is considered a white hat hacker too. He doesn't hack with malice. He just like shares cool information. He's called Green the Only, and he'll show like little sneak peeks of things he finds in the firmware that might lead to certain updates and stuff, and showing like what's going on behind like the internal cabin camera that's actually watching me, making sure I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
There's actually an AI behind it that's assigning several probabilities to whether or not I'm on my phone or looking at the screen or falling asleep. And it's part of Tesla's way of making sure that we're not abusing the self-driving. Because it's really good, but you know, we're to your point, we're not there yet. There's a reason that I need to be here ready to take over.
Like there's some people you'll see videos where they're just being all the other seats used to be.
Yeah.
Like used to be in all the other seats and they just be chilling. It's like, Thank you so much.
My pleasure, man.
Hope you have a great day, brother.
Yeah, you too. Take care. Yeah, rough morning. 3 trips, 3 failures, a lot of work around downtown. A final trip had taken me from the Ocean Beach area to Claremont, and staging got us, as you saw, but also got some more good feedback on the priority of like how important it is for the system to be reliable, and a good perspective that I guess it depends on the trip. So I'll let you all go. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care. Stupid.
It's okay. Happens to me every day.
Oh, the car's driving itself.
Oh.
It follows along with my critique of it needing to be better at planning ahead on its routes.
Yeah.
Or what I've called route staging.
Yeah.
Especially since we will have a right turn at some point. It would just make sense to be in the middle lane.
Yeah.
And avoids getting into these kind of awkward scenarios, which right now it isn't a trip ender.
Yes,
But there are some times where, because of this behavior, it's like bullied out of making a turn that it needs to make.
Right.
And then that could be a problem.
And now you can't take over.
I
it to
can.
go. Okay.
I can easily intervene if I need to. I'm just trying to see if it'll time out well to where we all just kind of start moving.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, I don't want it to, waste your time.
Sure.
Because I judge it from that perspective of it being like in the future and this being an autonomous service, it needs to be reliable. It's got to be something you're willing to pay to use and trust.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So as they move, we should sort of correct and get back into this lane, and there we go.
Yeah. Not bad.
We got lucky there.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing that these are the sorts of problems that are lingering. It's not really like a safety concern. It's more so just like how good can it really get?
I hear you, yeah.
So, it's already a lot better than a lot of humans.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We arguably don't set the bar very high.
Yeah. I wonder how Lucid is doing.
Lucid is struggling pretty bad.
Uh-oh.
They produced, I think, in Q1. Well, these are either Q1 numbers or last year's numbers. I think these are Q1 numbers, but they produced about 2,400 vehicles and delivered about 1,300.
Oh, wow.
And they've only got about a year or so of cash to keep them alive.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think they've got enough runway to extend to, I believe, Q3 or 4 of 2024 as of right now. We'll see how it pans out. Rivian's not really in the best position either.
Yeah.
But at least Rivian's got Amazon behind them.
Sure.
Lucid's a little bit more on its own.
Interesting.
At the same token, from a more objective standpoint, if Lucid disappeared, it wouldn't really do anything to transitioning to electric. Because they're not really moving the needle in a way that would impact mass scale. They're more so the expensive toy that people can get.
Yes. That's the clientele I've seen of late.
Yeah. It's a really cool product, not to take away from the fact that it's got industry-leading range and it's really nice from a luxury standpoint. It's a good car in that sense.
Yeah.
But not quite as impactful as Tesla or Kia or Hyundai or the Chinese companies that are stepping up.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I genuinely don't like about the Lucid is the way the rear end opens.
I haven't seen it open.
The trunk is pretty ugly.
I don't like the width of it. It's just too wide.
It's a large vehicle.
Yeah. Aesthetically, I'm not impressed.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool from the side or from the front.
Yes.
But I've been behind a few of them, and it just kind of looks bulbous and
unnecessary.
not very attractive. But yeah, if you ever see one open the trunk, it just makes you think like, why isn't that a full hatch? Why is it just a little trunk?
Interesting. I'll keep that in mind.
It's got a very small mouth, so to speak, when you're putting things in, versus, like the Model S and such, it's a full hatch that rises.
It should be. Yeah.
And I feel like they missed the mark there. It should have been.
Wow, you follow everything pretty closely.
I'm very in touch with both the auto industry and the EV transition and technology. I've been following Tesla since they were pretty much on the radar, like, well, probably 2008 when they really came on the radar. I knew about them in 2006.
Yeah.
It was sort of before Elon really got involved and really got them moving.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know about the T0, which is the original EV sports car model that became the Tesla Roadster from inspiration.
Interesting.
A lot of really cool stuff.
Wow. I hope you are putting all your knowledge to some good use.
I try to. I do have a YouTube channel that covers Tesla's self-driving, and I have a lot of fun conversations like this with customers.
So fun.
That's why I've got all of this stuff.
Oh, I was wondering.
Yeah, the crazy mic and everything.
Yeah.
Because as an example, this was a really good so even the first part where there wasn't really much conversation, what I like to do is basically a voiceover and talk about what the car is doing on this course, this trip, and where it could improve or where it does really well. And in a lot of cases like this, I call this a pseudo turning lane because it's not an official turn lane, and it struggles with these to the point to where it is likely to kind of turn left and then right as we get to the end of it. It sort of gets a little wigged out.
Yeah.
Because humans like to come in and just go right by.
Yeah.
But see, it's kind of like waving, not as much to the left that time. That was pretty good. Probably by these little posts up here.
Yeah, that's perfect. Watch out for these zombie undergrads.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. I'm quite used to that. Everyone's sort of tuned out. Well, I hope that everything heals up quickly.
Thank you.
I know that's not comfortable.
It's gonna be okay. Thank you.
My pleasure.
So much.
And just hold the button there at the top.
This one.
Yep, and then push. Perfect.
The luxuries.
Right. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
That turned into a fun little conversation at the end there once the FSD started to sort of act up. Or not act up, but kind of get stuck in an awkward scenario that really wasn't too impactful. That's a scenario where we were fortunately able to get back on course and weren't really stuck in any weird position, really. And then turn into a fun little conversation afterwards, which is nice. It's a good example of how I like to try to keep it organic. I'm not just going to bother people if they're not really interested. Or like this passenger, she had just recovered for some oral surgery, so yeah, definitely don't want to try to get them to talk too much, but she seemed curious and talkative toward the end. So that was a good trip. This can be kind of a tough area over here in La Jolla with the college and such, especially depending on where the drop-off officially is. And hopefully Lyft stays busy. It's been a little bit of a struggle. But on to the next one.